I was too tired. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I feel it. Yo, Cobbler, how you doing? It's been a while. I think that's a new joke, by the way. Yeah, like it. Kind of fit the theme for today. Yeah, like I mentioned, we're just gonna take it chill today. Nothing too serious. A bit of Blender modeling. I'm gonna start out with a simple one. The last week, I believe, yeah, well, actually last Friday, we looked at the bench press machine and talked about how we needed to make it chunkier, and that's still the theme for quite some time going forward, because all the machines leads to at least have I need to look at them at least to see if we can make them chunkier. How's it going? Yeah, I'm doing well. I just mentioned this to Mohammed over on YouTube that I'm kind of tired, but that's usually the usual thing on Fridays. It's been a busy week. A lot of stuff happening at work. So how are you doing, Cobbler? Like I mentioned, it's been a while. I think I mentioned that at least. Mohammed, you learned how to do a flip today. That's awesome. Yeah, that's something. Let's see. Cobbler says hi, Mohammed. Let's see if I can try and pronounce that. Al-salam alaikum, Mohammed. Please, at least tell me that's like 10% of the pronunciation. So yeah. What else? I mean, it's been a week. Oh, thank you, Mohammed. Thank you. Thank you, Cobbler. I said it right, perfect. Got 2 compliments at the same time. Awesome. Yeah, I was trying to think of something that has happened this week. Been fun. Oh, I did see a game that I was thinking that should be fun to play on stream. It's called Substructure. So it's very similar to Factorio, which is something I want to play on stream at some point. Just trying to figure out when good time. Probably when I get back to more streaming. Instead of right now, like I mentioned before, I'm more on YouTube right now, just focused on long form content rather than the streaming part of it. We'll see. You're doing great. That's awesome. You're busy with your new job. I think did we mention that last time you were here? I think we did. How's that going, by the way? I think Mohammed says, oh God, wa alaikum salam. Salm. Sorry, not salam. Salm. That's how we say hey. I say hi. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, hopefully you're not telling me bad stuff like I'm insulting culture or something like that. But I do trust you guys. Right. So yeah. So substructure, like I mentioned, it looks very much like Factorio, like in all how the arms work and how the build up conveyor belt system, everything like that. But it did have some elements kind of curious about. You have like, instead of space, you went down into the earth. That could be fun to have a look at. Oh, peace on you. That's what I mean. Oh, okay, there you go. Again, you can tell me whatever you want. I have no idea. But like I said, I trust that it's fine. So yeah, so Substructure will be something we'll do in the future. Before that, I do want to play more Satisfactory. I do love that game so much. I want to get past phase 2. I've done that on my spare time, on a personal gameplay. I've got past phase 2. I'm actually more kind of halfway through. Did I say pass? I mean phase. Hopefully I did say phase. I mean phase 3. So I'm almost halfway through phase 3 now on that personal save. I do want to do it on stream. I think it could be fun. And of course, Factorio, I do want to do that. We'll see when time is right for that. It's going well. We also have another meeting with a big game dev company from Saudi that will open here soon. Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna, fingers crossed. That's the way you say it, right? I'm gonna hold my fingers crossed for you. I really hope that works out. I think Saudi had a lot of investments into game industry, at least for the past 3 or 4 years or something like that. They've done quite a lot of stuff. You can ask Google about it. It's a way to say hello, peace on you, or here, but mean hello to. Yeah, I understand, but it's fine. Oh, hello, MHL. I didn't see you there. How you doing? Welcome. Been talking about the game substructure, so I kind of got lost in my thoughts because it looks really interesting. Oh yeah, you good? Awesome. So let's start out with, while we having this kind of chit-chatting and chill, I'm also going to do some modeling on the side. They have many rewards, some games and design. They made mainly VR stuff. That's cool. I've actually worked at a VR studio. It wasn't a pure game studio. It was more of a new startup, where we focused on creating a way for teams of surgeons with their nurses and everything. I'm not sure if that's the perfect title or the correct title for people working in this, but let's call them nurses and doctors, and have them train specific interventions in a VR environment. I'm not sure how that went in the end, because I had to leave. They had to let me go, unfortunately. And they're looking for level design. That's cool. Oh yeah, Michelle, I saw that. You finished your 1.0. I did see that. And that reminds me. Where did I see it? Where did I see it? I do it this way. Can I do it this way? I think it's this way. Rarely use Disco stuff. And we're going to... Wow, I'll never do this. I'm not sure how this is going to work. No, not like that. Why is it doing it that way? Sorry, just 1 second, guys. And... Alright, there you go. Let's do it for... You know what? Let's just do it for the entire stream. I don't have anything else to pin at this moment. There we go. Oh, hey bot, how you doing? I need to turn that off. I need to put myself on some kind of list, because the bot on the Twitch side greets me every time I do something like pin a message or do anything in chat. It's like, hey, how you doing? Never Kindle's like, yeah, you know me, bot. We've done this before. Yeah, so please have a look at that link, by the way. I can also post it on YouTube, right? Where's the YouTube? How do I post to YouTube? Wait, what? Is it gone? Hello, YouTube? What's going on? What's going on, YouTube? 1 second, Cobbler. I'll see your message. Just give me a second. Why is it not showing up? This is weird. I'm just going to do it this way then. There we go. There we go. All right, everyone, do me a favor, and if you have the time, and just have a look at MHL's game. We did play it. It wasn't last stream. I think it was the stream before that. Probably the last stream. We played his demo. It's kind of a fun game. I believe it's not too long, is it, MHL? It's got a short experience, but it's a fun game. Quite interesting. Let's see. Cobb, I received a new earpads for DT77 Pro headphones. They was melting. Nice. Yeah, I also upgraded my headphones. Like, proper stuff really feels good. And Mohammed, don't worry about attending. If you can, it's perfectly fine. And exams are important, so please do that. And the link appeared. Yeah, that's the link to MHL's game, so please have a look at it. And it's along depending on how good you are at. That's a fair point. It is. Cobbler, you have some links for proper stuff. Oh, these from AliExpress. Okay. I don't know. I mean, what's the name of these headphones? I can't remember. I need to look that up. Where did I? I'm going to put that off. There we go. These are the. Well, actually, these are the DT77 Pro 80 OHM. So I'm assuming. I mean, it's the same name as yours, so I'm assuming it's the same thing. There you go. Unless yours is a poor copy, or I guess mine could be a poor copy too. Who knows? I didn't get verified. I guess I didn't. I did break the game, didn't I? Remember, I broke the chest, but that was kind of fun. But it's 9 hours right now, and you finished about 1/3 of the. Okay, fair enough. And yours the 250 OHM. To be honest with you, Cobbler, I have no idea what that OHM is. To be honest, I just Googled mine, and I also asked ChatGPT to kind of recommend a proper headset for like streaming. And I guess this is more streaming stuff. I don't know. Yeah, so that's what it is. But yeah, I like this. More comfortable than the previous one, which I thought my previous ones, which was these HyperX, which were decent. I like them. Fairly cheap for what you get for them. So I thought they were comfortable. I did, honestly, until I tested these. Now I'm like, nope, these are like rocks on my ears now. Basically the same. There you go. Unity doesn't support Android. Really? Or is that something else? Because Unity should support Android, right? Or I mean, I haven't used Unity since 2019, so. But yeah. Cool, yeah. Please have a look at his game. It's fun. Right. So, I had something I wanted to do before we actually start modeling. And that's kind of check and compare the bench press with the current squat rack, which I kind of like what it looks like right now. It does feel slightly chunky to me, which is the main point, right? Well, let's just append the collection of, where are you? Collection. I want the bench press collection. Oh, it's kind of working. I think that's fine. The build that I used didn't say it was supported. Well, there you go. Yeah. I don't know anything about Unity, or to be honest, when it comes to anything related to building a version of the game, I'm as a beginner as anyone else. I've done it like twice in my life, and that was all default stuff, so I had no idea. You have a question? And to work for the devlog, if you look for people, I mean, I'm always interested in possibilities, but right now the company I work for is really nice, and way I'm allowed to work at this company allows me also to focus on YouTube and streaming. So I'm gonna have to say no to that one, Cobbler, but thanks for thinking of me. I really appreciate that. And if ever there is an option like they are asking for people, we could add it to Discord, although I know that we're not a lot of people there right now. We could add it to Discord. If you feel like they are a proper company, we can definitely do that. Have a look at it. I don't know. Yeah. But either way, good luck with that interview. All right. So, conclusion then. Apart from it looks a lot more detailed than the bench press, I feel like we're kind of on point. I'm just going to move that to the side. Yeah, probably. Thanks. Nice seeing you, and I'll catch you. It's going to be next Friday, so if you're interested and can show up, that would be awesome. So, yeah, have a good evening or good morning. I don't know. All right. I don't know what to do. I think we could be fine with squat rack, to be honest. Thanks with water. Yeah, that emoji on Twitch side, that's going to haunt me for the rest of my life, I think. Right. I'm going to say the squat rack is fine. It's chunky enough. The hooks aren't too small. We might want to increase the thickness of the handlebar or the pull-up bar, or remove it completely, to be honest, because it's not really adding much to the... perhaps it does. Hello, Pounds. How you doing? Mohammed, I start the project in June for my big plan I mentioned. Oh, that's nice. And you do it before Christmas? Hell yeah. What have you been up to, Pounds? I saw your stuff you uploaded to YouTube. Great stuff. Looks great. So let's see if we can't thicken this thing up at least. Just ever so slightly. MHL, you have another few errors planned for later mid-game. The current kingdom in the game is Mooncave. Cool. And the newer kingdom is the Ravine. Cool. Nice. Yeah, happy Friday, Pounds. How you doing? Yeah. Yeah, it is Friday, isn't it? I mentioned this earlier. I do know that it is Friday, but I'm also really kind of drained from this week. So it's just going to be a quite chill stream. And you're starting on the second half. Oh, nice. Well, assuming then that's only going to be 2 halves, then, because that's kind of what half means. You learn a lot for those materials? Yeah. I mean, that's what small project does. I mean, in my mind, this will be considered, relative to a few other projects I worked on, and probably you worked on yourself, be a small project, right? And they are often the ones you learn most from, in my experience, because you can really get into like quick learning. Do I remember the big plan? I think I do. You wanted, if I remember correctly, it's been a while, I think the last time we spoke about it, it's that you wanted to create a big open world using Python, is that correct? Please correct me on if I'm remembering that wrong, because me and things, I can't really remember what I had for breakfast. Well, I do, because I have the same breakfast every day, but if I didn't, I wouldn't remember. Oh, did you 100% Silk Song? Dude, that's badass. Would you say it's harder? I think we also talked about this last time. Is it harder than the than Hollow Knight? Like all the way through? I know some say it's harder, but is it harder all the way through? Much harder? But then awesome that you managed to get through it. Yes, but learn what texture worked and what didn't work. Look good. There you go. And that's probably what you should do. I mean, you can look at this as what you call it, an art slice. I guess that's a proper name for it. Try a few stuff, have a look at it. If you're happy with it, hey, then that will be your standard, your baseline going forward. Took you 90 hours. Dude, that's a lot. You've already seen a lot of the games, so you had it easier. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I've tried Hollow Knight. I do love the game itself, but I never got into that type of game. It's just too much for me. I hate starting over. I just don't like it. Spending 4 days on the last boss. Yeah, that kind of that type of gameplay is just not for me. Tremendous respect and for people who are able to, like, I wouldn't say push through that, but just have the discipline to just keep on working through it. That's pretty much, I appreciate that. Right, so I think the conclusion is that we are done with the squat rack. What we could do for future things is that I'm going to supply all of these. This is just going to be a reference, and we're also going to combine them all. Right, combine, thank you. I can probably delete that part, I can't. And let's just call it bench press. And we're working with Godot, which means as soon as I save, everything from this scene will be automatically imported into Godot. So what we need to do is add a suffix called noimp, which stands for no import. So this piece, this mesh, will not be imported into the scene. So it's a really cool feature. All right. And squat rack. triangulated. Did see some shading I don't really like. Just not going to be seen by players, so I don't really care about that. So let's just do a save, and let's open another level or another scene. Which one should that be? I mean, the exercise bench is really important, so I could look at that, although not really into it. I mean, shouldn't call it toilet, by the way. I should call it bathroom. Never mind. Water sink, pillar, plate rack. Let's just do a simple one. Plate rack, simple enough. Open world. Story based on the OC made by the girl I talked about. Okay. And you're gonna... Oh, sorry. Oh, came from dark place. And you want to try and you do it before Christmas using... I think you... Godot, alright? Bar day. A bar day. Pounds. What's that mean? Bar day. Think I'm still stuck. That is very common, Mohammed, when it comes to game dev. Just take a step back, breathe a little bit, and just try again. And you can focus on something else for a little while. It usually helps kind of let that blockage go away. Because that's usually where you're at. It's like a blockage of creativity. So just do something else for a while, then go back and try it again. A bidet. Oh, it might be bidet, yeah. Oh, that bathroom that gets water in your booty hole. Yeah, it's like MHL saying you're probably meaning you're trying to say bidet, which is spelled B-I-D-E-T. It's a bit different. But yeah, bidet is, now that I read it out loud and knowing bidet, yeah, that makes sense. Busy with real life. Busy with real life? Yeah. That's what's happening. That's why you should, in my mind at least, if you're busy with everyday life and you don't have full-time resource like time to allocate to a project, you should always try to do smaller projects until you have something you feel like this is absolutely something I want to work on. This is so golden. Then you start adding more and more time, maybe even removing some time for something else because this is more important to you. But always try for small projects first. Yeah, that. There you go. The exams of 110% is coming, and I should complete project on the right. I should complete my projects on the Minecraft server. School first, though, Mohammed. Exam first, then Minecraft. Important distinction. Yeah, like small projects. There you go. Gerberti, how you doing? Welcome. What you've been up to today? Right. I don't need these anymore. Part of a old add-on I'm not using. Let's append our bench press again. Have that as our reference for everything we're doing. There we go. You know how you can do the voxel remesh and look like Minecraft? I think I do. Like in Blender, I assume then. You're asking for Blender stuff, right? And I still feel that the level up system is making me compress. Do you try another word, Mohammed? I'm not sure if you're trying to say you're pressed. Try that sentence again, Mohammed. See if I can get it. I'm kind of slow right now. I used to play Minecraft more, and I would use that to plan out builds. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, then MHL. Have you looked into a thing called Hightail? I don't know much about it. Just heard that people who are really into Minecraft and doing stuff in Minecraft are really really excited about Hytale, and apparently it's going to release soon and have a lot of like, it's kind of like Minecraft 2.0 apparently. Oh, you have. Oh, there you go. Yes, the exams first always is the top priority. Yeah, there you go. The thing about exams at school is that it's a short period of your life, but it's something you can bring with you through your entire life. Game development, sure, that is also often, but game development is also a small part of your life relatively, but compared to school, it's a huge part of it. So if you go through school, make sure you have an exam, always like have that as plan B. If game dev is your big deal, you really want to be a game developer, then at least have something to fall back on. At least my point of view is that you probably want something to fall back on. I never got into high picks, so I only know about it. I'm not sure. I'm not super interested right now. There you go. Yeah. I'm just, what I've seen and heard about is that if you like the idea of building games or mods or worlds in Minecraft, it seems like Hytale might be the next thing because it has a lot of improved tools, more modern like hard software, or it's not really right, server stuff. Yeah. So maybe, I don't know, if someone's interested, I will look into it if that's the case. Or I wouldn't, but if you're interested, you should look into it. That's my point. You feel okay. You feel like you're compressed, like compressed air or water, and so I'm taking it then that you feel that the leveling up system we talked about isn't working for you. Is that what we're trying to say? Or that you feel like you're really doing a lot of good work because of it, because you feel focused? Is that what we're trying to say? So we want to thicken up this part. So I'm looking at it. I do believe I have a reference somewhere. Where could it be? I believe it's this one. So let's have a look at the reference first. Need to adjust my pure ref. Second, so let's do that. And I do believe I need to do that too. All right, there you go. So this is what we used as reference. To be honest, this is a bad reference because I believe it's actually a 3D printed piece, but I kind of liked what it looked like. It was simple, and it would work in a proper gem because it's low. The center of gravity is low. These thick handles or bars that could hold these plates. So I think that could work. Thing we need to adapt or upgrade on this though is mainly the bars themselves. Everything else seems to be working, which is just oof, because I was so looking forward to it. But they have, so Sabaton, the name of the band, has this amazing video. You know what? We're actually going to have to, I'm actually going to show you, not on stream, but I'm going to give you the link, this thing. And I highly recommend watching it. If I can spell. Do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm not sure why I can't post on YouTube through OBS. Not sure why. Let's do that. And let's push that on Twitch too. So have a look at this video. It's probably the most inspiring video from Sabaton. It's actually from here in Gothenburg live, I believe back in 2020 or 22, was it? I don't remember. 5 years ago, so 2020. Everyone knows this song, and they all sing along. It's just the environment, the air is just buzzing with just good vibes. So hopefully we will have something similar this Friday. We'll see. Right, back to thickening up our stuff. And you know what? The simplest thing I could do. This makes a ton of sense. I'm just going to copy this, move it out of that collection, move it back to the center. Now we're going to delete this part. And from the front, let's just move this into place. You can dump this in like 5 minutes or less. Muhammad, you had a question that the avatar. Not sure what that means. Again, it feels like I am really struggling with understanding things today. You've been following for 2.5 months, but yeah, I mean that is good. You tried it, but again, if it's not working for you and you feel restricted by it, just yeah, and it's a good thing that you tried it. Really good. Let's see. Oh, I did enter nice shading mode. I don't want that. It's a small change, but it's definitely thicker than before, so I think we can just move on with that. Oh, you know what? Just do this also. Before we delete, just didn't do this. Now we can delete. There we go. Oh, no, I'm not going to watch the Avatar movie. No. It's so this band that I linked to on YouTube, they are in Gothenburg, which is the city I'm from. And they are here next week to, they have a concert next week. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's one of my favorite bands, so I'm looking forward to going. I'm really excited. And also, Avatar isn't really my thing. I'm not sure. I just don't like I like the first one. It was pretty good. And I haven't seen the second one, so to be fair, shouldn't say too much, but it's just not my thing, I guess. You will follow a normal routine, do that. Perfect. Anything that makes you more efficient or happier in life, just do that. It's all about min-maxing stuff. It's sometimes just about enjoying stuff. Go. Yes, we could just do this. No, we need to do this. There we go. That's going to happen. That makes sense. Add that back. Awesome. And I need to do the same thing. You know what I should have done now that I think about it? How about do this? I'm going to delete these and this. Go. I'm going to do another pen, but this time back a few steps. Let's go to the squat rack. Selection. It should be in this one. There you go. Now I don't have to do that suffix one more time. I should go and have a shower. I'll be here for a few more hours. Don't worry about it. All right, so I mean, it wasn't really a lot of work to be done from the beginning, so I feel like this one is actually done. It's really fast. Still block out though, so yeah. That. And I'm going to let's launch Godot, see what happens. Let's see. One of my dev friends got to put an Easter egg in the game. Do I want to have an Easter egg? Trying to figure out what that would be, though. Good question. Give me some time to think of it. See if I can come up with something interesting. If not, then I guess I should pass. But I'll see what I can figure out. Could be nice. Could be really nice, to be honest. That looks decent. So this is updated. It's nice. Oh, sorry, you can't see. Always forget that I need to swap scenes. There we go. So it was automatically updated. We do have this now. A bit thicker. You can also see the ass actually has a sliders, which is nice. On the first game I worked on, I put my kid's name in this on some side content case. I mean, something similar could be nice too. I just don't want to put my own like name or stream channel, and I don't have a partner or it would makes no sense to have like, oh I will use my mother's name. No, makes no sense. So I don't know. I think looking at the barbells, be dumbbells or not barbells, dumbbells, be something. I will have a look at that next. I feel like I'm kind of flying through these right now. I've been picking the easy ones, so it makes sense. The Easter egg is from an inside joke we have. It's joking about him being bad at his own game. Okay. So he was talking about making a game like, oh, Wonder Wonder Sahar did a master kiss take it. Well, yeah. I mean, that's a fun thing to do. See if anyone in the future will find it. It'd be nice. It could be fun. Do that. Do the same process again and again. Just keep repeating. So, what do we need to do with this one? I think the legs themselves. I'm fine. I swear I can't talk. I feel like I'm fumbling over my tongue. It's not super hidden, just a little unconventional to get to. All right. Separate the legs and shelves first. I'm not sure what I need to do to them. It's more the dumbbells themselves that's the problem. So one thing I'd like to do also is to have each dumbbell separate. Right now, the only place you can find them is part of this shelf. It would be great to have at least 2 or 3 versions of the dumbbells, like a individual piece. Probably what we should do. Yeah, that makes sense. This shelf, though. Yep, I think it's fine. Could perhaps be chunkier. Can I do that easier? Like an easy way to do that. But if I just do the Alt S, how's that work? That kind of works, doesn't it? Yeah, that kind of works. So what I'm going to do is delete this part. Just going to increase the size of this one. That's good. And I'm also going to separate that so we can do this. There we go. Then let's grab all of these. Move them inwards ever so slightly. I might have to even give these a bit more heft. To be honest, I'm not sure if I want to, because they're not going to be shown because of the dumbbells. I think we're fine. They are not super important. I think we can save some time and not do anything with them. But the dumbbells, though, that is more important. So we need to make these chunkier. Best way to do that would be how? Kind of regret deleting the old ones. I did have probably each one of these separate. I do believe I removed them. There might be one save hidden. Dude, I can't. Me and my damn scenes have this automatic or something like that. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of stuff and you haven't seen anything of it. Perfect. I just made these chunkier and mirrored them. And I brought this in to adjust with that chunkiness. Right, so we need to make these here. I guess we could just start with one and see where that leads us. Make a copy, separate that copy, select it without problems. Can't. Let's do it this way. Select that ring and move. Have I not got that installed? Going on. There we go. Damn scenes are damn fanatic. I love those damn people. I mean, it is what it is, right? They are important and they are needed. So you are fanatic, I guess. I make video games. That I do. But welcome. How you doing? What you been up to? Let's move it this way. Do object. That's down. Isolate it. There we go. Side. That's not the side. This is the side. How much do I need to move these? -15. That makes sense. Not much. Well, and what about me? I'm also not doing much other than updating a few of these assets because we had a meeting roughly 2 weeks ago with my team, and one thing me and the other artists agreed on was that these are, although well made in many aspects, they are hard to see in the game. The silhouette isn't readable enough when you start playing, so we need more heft. Need to be thicker. So that is what I'm doing right now. I'm creating thicker dumbbells. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that without doing too much extra repetitive work. What's the game about? That's a good question. So what we're trying to make, first of all, it's the base of the game is a gym simulation game. So that's why we're making all these gym equipment. And of course, the main idea is to make sure your gym runs, so you make a profit, all those like regular stuff that usually comes with simulation game. But we wanted to add a twist, and from our perspective, it sounds really fun, and that is to have some bit of a laugh on like at the expense of the various stereotypes that exist within the gym culture, and I'm definitely part of that culture and that part of that stereotype. I chug down protein powder. I think of my macros and everything like that. I'm part of that culture, so I feel like me and my friends who are also part of that culture could probably have a good laugh at it, just a little bit, all for fun. And we are very inspired by the culture of a gym in the US called Planet Fitness. And if you don't know what that is, it's one of the most bizarre gyms that you could ever find. It has something called a lunk alarm, which means that if you make a sound, if you just put too much effort into lifting something, you just ground just a little bit too loud, and it doesn't have to be a lot, and the alarm goes off. And everyone in the gym knows that someone has just made a sound. That's my thing. And then believe they have, or used to have, Pizza Fridays, and you have a lot of YouTube videos online where you see people who, bless them, and I really respect them for being at the gym working out, but they have no idea what they're doing. They're using the gym equipment in ways that can only be fake, if that makes sense, because it's so weird. Their creativity is just all over the place. So yeah, we wanted to look at those things and that's kind of the twist to the gym simulation game we're trying to make. Yes, what we could do in a minute or so is have a look at where we at. But I do warn, this is disclaimer though, we're not far by any means. But it's kind of fun to look at because it's kind of satisfying to see the placeholder characters where they're using at this moment, running around. You see many videos from those places, they are fun. Yeah, they are fun. But also at the same time, I personally feel a bit guilty laughing at these people. Although it is fun. It is fun videos. They are. But also at the same time, it's like these people are trying their best. But goddamn, can't just anyone just tell them, just don't jump around. That's literally what they do. They jump with heavy equipment. So I saw this guy. I was so terrified because I was like, oh my god, please. He was trying to do a squat, but his technique was so all over the place that it's unexplainable what happened. He just fell apart. But he wasn't really wearing the. In the end, I don't think he was hurt. Just looked so bizarre and funny, and I felt bad, but I had fun. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Let's see. Need to move this part over like so. I'm gonna ignore bevels for now. Your students feel the same, like they do their own business, just help them instead of recording. Well, exactly. That actually, honestly, yes, that's a good point. People who film these and then just post it online, actually, I'm kind of upset with them because just help them out. Yeah, I think that's a good. Yeah, it's just yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to put into words, I guess. But yeah, that's a good point. Let's see, I need to thicken this up, and we're going to do it by limiting the x-axis. Make it thick. That's a lot thicker than it was. Oh yeah, that's definitely thicker than it was. That might be a bit too thick. There we go. That's probably as thick as I wanted it to be. You know those videos, people swinging in those weird hanging things? I don't want to be stable. That usually women with a caption of something like 10 cents of wasting and money. Um, Not sure about the women part, but that might be the majority of. But the one I've seen is a mix. But yeah, it's more like I've seen these comparison with stunt doubles on a Hollywood movie, where like as if they're in these cables trying to fly like Superman or like do a Spider-Man jump. It's like I've seen people being upside down in these machines. You know, machines you would press down because you want to train your bicep, or you pull up because you want to try your train your biceps. But they were just like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna put on all the weights and just hang upside down. Like, what are we doing? You want one of those swinging things? Looks fun. Well, that is also true. It does look like fun. Although I'm probably like 20 years too old to do that. So, yeah. But it does look like they're having fun. So I respect them for that. Let's pick this part. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. There you go. Delete these parts. And then we're going to have a problem because we either have a modifier, we do them. So the smooth instead. That's better. Then let's delete this part. It looks weird, doesn't it? What's going on? There we go. Let's do this. Yeah, that's a chunky dumbbell. Yeah, there we go. What is the status on? Gonna apply. Just, ooh, should I? Let's remove that for now. about that. All the buttons right now. There we go. All right, so another 5 version of this one. We're done. Well, thanks. Yeah, I think we are onto something. It's the most important part is the twitch. No, not the twitch. The twist. That's what I'm trying to say. The twist. A gym sim could be fun, but you know, it's just going to be like most other simulation game if we don't add something else to it. I'm thinking supermarket sim, TCG, trading card game, whatever it's called. All of those like that popped off like a year ago. So, and that is what inspired us. To be honest, that was a big inspiration. But we wanted to add that twist. I think that if we can nail that part, I think we have something fun. There we go. All right. So another 5. How should I do this? Let's do it this way. First of all, let's move the prefix. Let's call it dumbbell 1 in a light version. Do a no imp. We don't import that. Everything else should be fine. So let's just see what it looks like in Godot. So initial thoughts is that it at least imports correctly. So that's fine. How I texture these. So the idea for now is to use a gradient texture. Ominous, do I have it somewhere? I've been working every now and then on that texture, so it's not done. But I do believe I have. Could it be though? Should have it somewhere. Maybe we didn't add it to the project yet, so it might be somewhere else. Oh, right, it's in that project. There we go. Can I do that? Apparently I need to open Photoshop, so we'll have it work bits. You do a lot of shaders, and usually I do texturing for procedural shaders. It's very fun for me. Yeah, procedural shaders could be a lot of fun. Absolutely. So this is, if we can show you. There we go. So it's a very simple version right now. Why can't I zoom in? Why is this not zooming in? On Photoshop. Do it this way then. And the idea with these textures is that you would grab the UVs from a side view. And so you would have, let's say, the leg of the bench press. And grab some proper reds. Do that. There we go. Add a bit of thickness. That's too much. So what you would do is you would grab the leg from the side like this. So you would have a UV map that looks like this. So there would be a small gradient going along the leg upwards like that. Or slowly fade away. But you would have a slight gradient at the bottom, and at the top you would have less gradient, which makes sense. And that's kind of what you would do. Then you would just move it around. If you want to try something else, you want to try a gray one, you want to try a red one, move it around. Everything is done by grabbing the UVs from the side. So it's a very, very simple way of doing your mapping. It's probably the simplest way I've seen so far. But it gives you really good results if you could get the texture to really look nice. And this one is very simple. It was a proof of concept, which someone's already done this before me. I did not invent this system or method, so by no means should I take any credit for it. But the one I just wanted to see for myself how it worked. Yeah, it is interesting. I've seen a lot of people do it this way, and someone had like 64 different colors. So they would have the entire color wheel with a number of variations of each color. So yeah, I've been thinking about how I wanted to do this. If I wanted to try to do something procedural in the designer, because you would be able to, if you use the hue, saturation and value option, Why is it, by the way, giving me that weird? All right, there you go. If you use the hue, value, and saturation, those are all within the 0 to 1 space, right? Oh, it's kind of hard doing this with the mouse. So if you were to, let's say, add a 0.5 value to scale, then that will give you a specific color. And you can then give that color a certain saturation. So if you really want something that's really high on saturation, you can give it a 0.75. Then you get something like this, perhaps. And the same goes with the values. That determines whether or not it's a white or if it's a dark value. So we will go between these two, for example. So this will be closer to 0, and this will be closer to 1. So if I can do that in Designer, I should be able to tell it, hey, based on the locations of these pixels, so let's say these are within the 0 space, these are within 1 space, and these are within 2 space. The X values will be different on each one of these within a certain interval. So I can tell it, hey, if it's within this interval, make sure the hue values are within this limit, and if it's within this, do these values, and within this, do these values. So I might have a light blue, let's do that, light blue, a dark blue, and then maybe a dark bluish purple blue, or something along those lines. So if I can do the math, it should be quite simple. And I can then tell it, hey, if you go downwards, make sure all the Y values, because I'm assuming you can also have values in the Y direction, shift as you go down. We'll see. This is all just theoretical in my mind, but it feels like it should be possible to do it that way. But yeah. But that is for another time. Right now, I just want to have something simple to do while I'm streaming. I only have 3-4 hours to stream, so I don't want to bog down in something really complicated. And let's see. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 7 more versions of these. I guess what we could just do is duplicate, move to the side, give or take 0.3. Can I then do that? I can. Perfect. 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. I'm just going to make these slightly thicker. Should I make it like, should I do it by eye, or should I try be more specific? I should just do it by eye, shouldn't I? Makes sense. And also I'm realizing another thing. This part needs to be longer. Probably something like that. There we go. Nope, not that one. I should do it. By eye is the best way to do art. Yeah, I agree. To an extent. I think there are times when you want to do it really mathematical, because there's some art in that too. But by eye is all usually like, it's enough. It's more than enough in most cases. So yeah. And also I think many people, even in really high, like, professional workspaces, do it by eye. If they say they don't, I don't completely believe them, to be honest. Yeah, to an extent. I'm making these big enough. Might want to really thicken them up more, or it will be a big difference once we get to the end. So I'll think we can do it that way. All right, so let's just speed it up. I'm just gonna grab these. Do something like that. Nope. Why is it that I want to press Y every time? Why? Ah, why? That's terrible. There we go. Yeah, that's a lot chunkier, isn't it? But do you want to know the best part about this? This one is about 220. So all of these about 200, 230. The previous ones, in total, came out to 30,000 triangles. And we're down to 1,800 just by these. So double that, 3,600, then add another 1,000 or so because of the legs. So we're probably down to 1/6 of the number of triangles, which is spot on where we want to be. Probably even less, to be honest, because likely lower the inner cylinder even more. I think this is fine. Triangles are important, but they are becoming less and less important as game development just keeps on improving. Nope. Not what I want. There we go. Although I say it's less and less important, it's still important to keep track of your triangles. I remember when the Nanite in Unreal 5 came out the first time, and people were like, oh, we're just going to get away with the triangles now. No, we're not. It's going to help a lot if you know what you're doing, but there's some downsides to it. We discovered that the hard way. Because even though you'll be able to handle a lot more triangles in your game, the file size increased. All of a sudden, you were dealing with like double or in some cases 10 times the memory space for one file. So it was like, oh my. And there were other issues early on. You can use vertex color, for example. So if you wanted to add complexity to your mesh or your material, you had to get around that by doing some really weird workarounds. I can't remember the exact way we did it. I think we imported it as normal mesh with the vertex colors, and then we did everything we needed to do. And the final thing, the last thing we did was enable nanite. It was really weird. I made a test in Unity to try out orthographic grammar setup I had in mind. It ended up being very cool since I used LOD and shaded to make it look beautiful. There you go. Yeah. Orthographic camera is underappreciated in my mind. I think it's really cool. And let's talk about that, by the way. Or rather, I'm going to show you this. So you do an import and we're not going to see a change. Perfect. So this is the game we are working on right now. Can you see this? You can't. Of course you can't. Can I do that then? So here's the game. It's, like I mentioned, very simple. So I don't recommend Nanite. I think you should be aware of its limitation. And if you want to try it out, do it. But it is limited. Or maybe now it's more proper. But back then it was quite limited. But it's been 2 years since then, so there's a lot has happened. You can't send it in Discord, but you have a video of it. Is there a limitation to your Discord permissions, or what's going on? So yeah. So what you would do is just add your machines, and the idea is that they are requiring specific machine to go to. If they can't find it, you're not going to get your money, and they would just leave. But in this case, it's like, I think we made it a bit too easy. I don't really have to do anything until one of these machines break. So right now I'm just waiting for the money to go up to 300 so I can buy a new machine. And once one of these break, I just repair it. Oh, okay. Do you have it on YouTube? or something similar, because we can you can pass on the link if you have it on YouTube. So this is a very, very simple stage right now. So the next few weeks, we're going to focus more on adding more game mechanics and trying out the blockouts that I've been working on. I think that's mainly what we're going to. And hopefully our character artist will have more spare time to work on the characters themselves. So hopefully we'll be able to show anything related to that in the future, in the near future, as I say. So yeah, but it is hide everything. Let's just completely hide that one. So I guess we can just delete these and replace them. Yeah, that makes sense in my head at least. So let's do X. Let's do a D for delete. And some water. The main point when I picked it up. And I'm going to save these in a separate collection. Do a new one. Let's call it dumbbells. I can never remember if it's 2 B's in dumbbells, but I do believe it is. That is something I've been curious about for a while. Why is it called dumbbells? Oh, we have a look. That is something I've been really curious about for quite some time. Oh, and by the way, I make video games. I hope my answer on your previous question was sufficient. I don't think nanite is a bad technology. I just personally haven't been able to use it in a way that has been more beneficial than the old LOD system way. But I do look forward to when Unreal eventually allows us to work with the nanite foliage. What's it called? It's not nanite foliage. What did they call it? At the tip of my tongue. Voxel nanite foliage, something along those lines. They were presented that in the Witcher 4 tech demo. Yeah, voxel. There you go. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So apparently, dumbbells are called that because they originated from a silent version of church used for practice, combining dumb, which in this case meant silent or mute, not the way we think of it as a dumb individual, with bell, as they mimic the motion made no sound, a name later applied to handheld weights for strengthening. There you go. Ah, I didn't know that. I'm not sure about the motion though, because bell would be this, right? How the hell would you train that? I mean, triceps like this, sure, but I don't know. Embedded news there in my work I'm working on right now for what is called More Town to introduce new alien called Beepos. For the context, the alien you play as is a Beebo. A boop. Pobo. That's the way you say it. Pobo. Why am I saying Peebo? Hammer curl. Well, the hammer curl is like that, right? Isn't it? You move your hands like this and you hold it out like a bicep curl, isn't it? You flip your hand. No, you have it straight up like this, right? That's true. Oh, right. You would do that motion. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hammer curl. Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah, exactly. That's the reverse curl. That's true. I usually never do this. I've never done this in my entire life. I feel like it would put just too much stress on my wrist and not enough on my actual muscles I want to train. Because I'm assuming my muscles down here, which is one of them that will be activated, and the bicep, probably maybe even some shoulders would be activated, right? and they will be a lot stronger than my wrist would be. So I feel like that will be a limited factor. It doesn't make sense, at least in my case, to practice a reversed bicep curl. I would probably just strengthen my wrist first, using like an isolation exercise. Then eventually I would probably go, if I had to ever go to a reverse curl, I would probably do it that way. Otherwise, I'm just like a regular bicep curl. It works so, it's really good. Well, my favorite is the inclined bench bicep curl. That one's really good. If you really want to push your biceps to like a new level of growth, which is mostly what I do. I don't practice strength as much as growth. I try to grow bigger muscles rather than the strongest muscles I can. And the incline bench dumbbell curl, which means that you lean back on the bench like one of those regular benches, and you have it at roughly, I think, 30 or 45 degrees. I think it's actually 30 degrees. So you would be quite lean back, and you would push your arms forward to the side, of course, but you have it on the side, so you would have really high tension on your muscles in the extended arm position, and then you would curl from that, and it really pushes your biceps a lot more. You can't really go for the regulars, which I would usually go between 15 kilograms and 20 kilograms, which is roughly, 30, 40 pounds when I do regular curls. But when I do incline bench curls, I can just go down to 10s, or in this case, 20 pounders. It's really push a lot more pressure on your biceps. I really like it. Although I can't really say if it's been growing in my muscles or not, because I haven't measured with a measuring tape. There you go. Something's my nose. I don't like it. All right, so let's do these, duplicate them, move them to scene collection, hide collection. And from the front, let's move this one. This one. Honestly, let's delete that instead. Leave, it's 15. There we go. Something like that. Almost. Oh, now it's too... oh, now it's too small. That sucks. All right. Good to know. So we need to delete these. The song we're listening to right now is by Powerwolf, called Sainted by the Storm. Really like it. I think it's a German band, if I'm not mistaken. And the guy from the singer, he has a operatic, so his voice is really powerful. I really like them. I'm gonna add another song with them because I do like them. Let's see, what else can we listen to? This one, I'm not sure if I've heard this one before. Armata Strigoi. Let's add that. Sounds interesting. Right, so what we're going to do. No, I wouldn't say it's religious themed, but I don't think it's a religious song. I don't think they tended to be praising a specific religion, but they do tend to use religious themes for their songs, if that makes sense. I think he's actually kind of dressed as a pope every now and then, or a cleric, but that's just a theme rather than an actual, we believe in this type of thing. They might still believe in it, though, but I don't think they openly admit that or announce that. No, I actually think I heard this song before, but I think it's good though, so let's listen to it. Negative 15. And we're gonna add the origin point, or the I keep saying origin point. It's the pivot point, not the origin point. There we go. Hide this, honestly, so I don't accidentally unhide them. You can use these filters to kind of, instead of hiding with H, which would be unhidden every time you press, is it Control or Alt H, you can hide them completely by using the monitor stuff, or you can make them unselectable or non-selectable. I'm not sure what that term is. You can kind of press these, and now you can't select them in any way, which is good because you don't always want to do that. And let's introduce the dumbbells. And let's move all of these downwards ever so slightly. And I'm going to grab this and make it non-selectable, to be honest. So all of these insides would be the same. So if I add a wireframe, I select all of these, go to face, select everything on this side, then move it on X till it sticks on the outside. Perfect. I'll do the same thing for this side. Go. So when I place it on the shelf later on, it should be fitting perfectly. So we can delete this one. Or let's save it. Just in case I need to make adjustments, just in case. Oh, right. And also we need to reset the scale and rotation. These are now done. I think they are more complete than before. Let's do a duplicate. Move them outside the collection. Hide that collection. Front, and just repeat that process we did earlier. Move this up. Yes. That's good enough. On to the side. Rotate it 15 degrees. I'm going to do that. There we go. Very tight, but that's good. Awesome. Right, so we have an option here. I could try. I know it's going to work, but it's smarter. I could use the array modifier to make a quick copy to the side of this. With that, I can just move one of them, and I can adjust procedurally without going back and forth between these two. I think that's honestly a better option. Let's see if we can use that. Let's do an array. Okay, I forgot the inputs on this one. Where's the swap axis? I think it's Control X. We're on Y. There we go, but that's not what I wanted. Let's try that again. I don't want that. Is it the V? No. Which one is it? I don't want to be an X. Is it this one? There we go. I want to be in Y, so it's just X rather than X, Control X. So the reason we're doing this is we're going to do that. And next, I'm just going to do this. Oh, not that. Front. Select this one. Move it up. That's good enough for now. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to Control C. This is not default thing, by the way. You have to go to preferences and add-ons, and even extensions nowadays with the later versions, and then enable a add-on called copy attributes. With that, you have all of these things you can copy, which is really nice. And I believe if I do that, then you can see now the new dumbbell is at the same location as this previous one. I'm going to do that again, but we're going to do copy rotation this time. Go to front, move in Y, not in everyone. Do this, move in Y, push it to that point. Then I'm going to do another copy, but this time we're going to do select modifier. I'm going to do the array modifier, press OK, and now we have another copy. Perfect. Lee Yun, that's correct. Hello. Yes, hello, fellow artist. Have I been here before? Apparently you haven't, or if you haven't, or if you have, you haven't had a word in chat before. So welcome. How you doing? As an artist, what are you doing? Are you also a Blender user? Perhaps Maya, or maybe even a different discipline altogether. So how you been? Let's see. I do this. Let's start with the modifier. Why not? The modifier. Let's do the location. Let's do the rotation. Then let's move it in Y. Not all of them, of course. Do this. I think that should be good enough. Awesome. And rinse and repeat. Rotation, location, modifier, array, do it. Move it. Looking at this, make some adjustments. Awesome. Can I do this, by the way? Now I'm curious. So apparently, the one thing you can do is if you hold down Alt and do something on the modifiers that tend to propagate through all the selected modifiers. So I'm curious, if I do this, go to constant object, go to the Y, which is what we've offset the copy, hold down Alt. Can I do that on all of them? I can. That is amazing. I love Blender. Worked in Blender for about 8-9 years, environment general design, making assets. Yes, I'm making assets. I'm the artist for a game friends are doing. And I'm responsible for the environment stuff. So I'm making assets for the gym simulation where we're... I make video games. YouTube deleted my comment for some reason. Which comment? Because it didn't show me which one you potentially deleted or was deleted. That's weird. Yeah, it did that by itself. All right. Weird stuff. YouTube is so much like as a streaming platform. YouTube has a few things it needs to improve. I haven't had to use it yet. So apparently the unban function in YouTube is is really bad apparently. So what you would have to do is you have to go through a lot of loops, and in a hidden part of your settings, you will find a window where you can find the profiles, like just small profile pictures with an X next to that name. And you would have to find the profile of the person or the person you want to unban and press the X button. But imagine if you've if you banned thousands of people throughout a streaming career. I haven't yet. I haven't banned a single person yet, so I'm really lucky so far. But imagine if you had to do that, and you can't search for the name, and you can't see all the names. Instead, you have to do a random click. So you have to refresh and randomly hope that the name pops up, and then you can press like remove ban stuff. That's quite weird. Like I said, for some reason, people only do Christian themed stuff, and if they used another religion, they'd be called weird a few minutes ago, but it's gone for some reason. I mean, you had at least one word in there that's getting flagged by YouTube quite a lot. It's the R word. It's really quite a bad word on YouTube. So I would be careful using that word in the future. For now, I see you comment. It's vanilla stuff, so you're fine. Yeah, but Christian thing, I think the Christian thing, among the other things, is that a lot of Western bands use it. And that's probably where you and me get most our like religious music band theme from. So I'm guessing that's really quite common. I wonder if it's equally common in, let's say, Asia or in the Middle East. I guess not, right? So I'm guessing, yeah. Maybe I've seen you before, but I think I've seen someone like you make a treadmill. Yes, I've made a treadmill before. That is true. Which is going to get an upgrade. That's one of the things I'm doing right now. The previous assets we worked on, or I made, I talked to my fellow artist, my partner artist on the project, and we came to the conclusion that all the assets needed I mean, at the lack of better word, and I've used it for like a week or 2 weeks now. We need it to be chunkier. That's the word we're looking for. So it needs to have more heft, more weight to them, because it's really hard to read the assets in Godot when they were really small and had like tiny details. So everything I'm doing right now is going back to previous assets and just making them thicker and less refined, I guess the word is. So it's more like a block out with details. Eurasian, and yeah, it's common here to see Christian Steam Turf. Really? Oh, there you go. I'm less familiar with Asia as a general cultural thing. I mean, I'm on the internet, so Japan, right? Japanese culture is big, at least in the areas I'm roaming. So, but I can't really say I've seen much Christian theme stuff, although Christianity and other cultures, the Nordic cultures, usually comes up, which is kind of pride thing for my case, in my case, because I'm Swede, so Nordic stuff is kind of cool. But yeah, well, that's an observation I haven't really thought of. Perhaps it's true. I don't know. Lee Yoon, Lee Yoon. That's how you pronounce it, right? What are you working on right now? I mean, 8-9 years. You should be making some really cool stuff. And you were a environment and general design. Okay. So you're in more like I say, environment stuff. You focusing on realism, or you're more into stylized, like art stylized stuff? I've been my career is mostly focused on like hyperrealism, and I pivoted into technical stuff. So right now I have the title of technical environment artist. That's my title at work right now. Oh, that's cool. Wait, are you working with the studio, or do art creators have the option to implement like fan made assets? I'm really not familiar with art creators much at all. Realism mostly. That's really cool. I love the style of art creators though, and as far as I can tell, it's really going well for it. Embark Studios' second game, right? If I'm not mistaken. The finals. Is that the first game? And I did actually apply to Embark. Like, I think it wasn't a actual work application. It was a student, like an internship, years back. Well, quite a lot of years now. It has to be in 2018, 19. God damn, time flies. Right. Just make it 3D art on it, not which is in development. So, fill me in on this one. That it does Embark. Let's call it art creators. Allow you as a fan, or a modder. Maybe let's call it modder. A 3D modder. Call it that. Allow you to like give out or upload your assets, and other players can use it, or are you like involved within your reason? You tell me if you don't want to. If you don't want to say anything, that's all fine, because I know someone wants some privacy, right? But I'm just really curious because I do like the way Embark Studios is working. I think like they're a really modern studio in many ways. I'm curious. Let's do this. First of all, copy modifier. Let's do some rotation, rotation. Let's select that one. Move you down. There we go. There's a way for me to repeat those patterns quicker. And the copy location. Can I do that quicker? Perhaps I can use the link. I do this instead. I mean, I can do the modifier. Is faster, but I already have the smooth, the auto smooth. I don't want the double one. Well, object data, I'm not interested in object data. Well, part of it, but not all of it. I don't think I can. Let's just do this. I mean, it's quite fast, so it's not a big deal. And this one. Yep. And this one. Right. Select these again. Go to the array. Balanced offset and offset slightly. That's good enough. You don't think, that's true. You don't think they would use content from outsiders. Well, that's a fair point. I've just seen so many studios nowadays. Well, not a lot, but it's more common nowadays than they used to be, having the idea of let's use outsourced or at least fan-made stuff added to our game. I don't know. Maybe that's an Easter egg only. Yeah, that makes sense. It has to be really unique, though, right? First one that comes to mind is Skyrim Grandma. You all know about Skyrim Grandma? It's a really cool story. Although I can't say I know all the details. She's been she blew up as a Skyrim player, and because of her age and uniqueness and just charm, I guess, Bethesda decided to make her a actual character in the next Elder Scrolls. So they scanned her, photo scanned her, and apparently she's going to be in the next one when it eventually comes out. I mean, it's only been, what, 15 years? 15 years and 10, 11 remakes, remasters of Skyrim. It's such a weird business, but they're making money. Right. This one, that one. Copy. Rinse and repeat. Where are you? There you are. That's good enough. Copy. Read. Let's do that one. Right. Yeah, this looks a lot better. It's easier to read. Like the previous one really had poor readability because everything was such a small and was almost like, what's a good word for it? Like we were missing some anti-aliasing, which might have been true because we haven't really looked at that yet. All of us from the team were new to Godot, so a lot of stuff that we might not know about. I think this is, either way, this is a improvement. And also we are saving enough triangles. We're almost down to a tenth of what we had before. Really insane. Perhaps I should try the texturing on these. That could be nice. Let's see, that should be able to do that fairly quickly. Go to shading. Where is it though? Should probably move it over to the Godot project instead. Do that. Do textures. There we go. Let's copy the path. Drag and drop this in. Oh, we can't do that. Oh. We need to do that. Makes sense. So wait, what did I put into alpha again? Is that roughness? Well, it looks like roughness, yeah. So let's move this over there. There we go. Let's do that. Select this one. Do a Control L and link the material. Awesome. UV editing. Let's start with this one. See if we can make that work. That. Project. Run view. Rotate it 15 degrees. Is the texture though. There we go. All right. Go. There we go. All right. So let's select these. Question is, what is metal? Oh, I can't remember. I think this part down here will be metal. I think this will be kind of like a rubber-ish thing. How about that? How about that? I think that could work. So hopefully, if I do this, quite tame, the gradient. There is a gradient though. It is brighter down there. It is quite tame. What if we introduce the metallic? That help? I don't think so. Let's try it. There we go. Go down back to modeling. I mean, it is introducing some interesting element, but it's not really. It's not terrible. I mean, for like 2 minutes of work, it's not terrible. So, considering these are exactly the same, apart from I've extended the width, the weights itself, shouldn't I be able to copy paste the UVs, right? I've never done this before, but it should work in theory. But not for this one. This one needs to be link. I'll do that. There you go. Could be the environment too. What if we try something else? I don't remember what all of these does. What strength? Not strength. I'll probably just rotate a bit. Not really. If create an environment for it. That I'm gonna do a. Where is it? Where is it? My head. Why can't I see it? There we go. You can do that. Oh, it doesn't allow back faces. That makes no sense, does it? All right. Hello. It's not perfect. It is not. But for what we're going for, I think this is a good start. If anything, I need time to ask my teammates to see what they think about the next or the new art style. Even proper ways to call it. All right, so you are all set to no import. Let's not do that. Do that. This is also one of these cases. Should be a easier way to do this. it's way too few for me to just spend the time trying to figure that out. So I'm just going to do this. And last one. Make some bevels. Yeah, that's definitely going to be part of it. So for now, I'm thinking that until I have like a confirmation that the team wants this approach, we might leave those types of details out. But then again, I can just do it within 5 minutes. So yeah. And also, this is kind of the distance away from the mesh, maybe even further, we'll be looking at. So I'm not sure if bevels will actually read that well. Definitely something like bevels before we're done with this, definitely. And you know what? Let's just add it. Let's just do it. I think we can do it quite easily. Do that. I'm just going to try it out. Which one is it? Bypass scale. None of those. All right. Do that. The bevel. Let's throw that before the array. Make it offset, but instead of angle, let's do weights. Scale it down quite a lot. About that. Okay, we're going to have some ads in a few seconds, and I'm going to take that time to go to the bathroom. So I'll see you all in a 1.5 minutes or something along those lines. Ads starting soon, it says, though. Hasn't started yet. All right, so I'll wait until it's actually starting. Something weird with the Twitch every now and then. Where are you? Yeah, bevel does add quite a bit, though. It's just that from a distance, can I really tell? Weird thing. Whoop. Going around my mouse doesn't help, though. Let's do that. We do crazy stuff. Sure. Right. Lee, you think it looks a lot better? Yeah, probably does. Question is how wide I should make the bevel. I mean, from a distance, it needs to be able to see it. This is quite wide. So up close, it makes no sense. Maybe it does. Not that bad. However, can I do anything with the... Perhaps I shouldn't use the weighted modifier. Now instead... What if we try this? I can't do that because I need to apply the bevel. No, I don't want to do that. Let's lower it a little bit. There we go. And next we want to copy the bevel. I guess we need the weight normals too. Why is it doing that? Do I have another modifier on? Is it this? Why is it that different? Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. I know. No, that's the... Which one is this? There's a shortcut for this, isn't it? Not that. All right. Make sure all of these... Make sure I just select them like so. All right. Does not allow me to do multiple at a time. Makes no sense. All right. All right. There you go. I can adapt. Select by area. I mean in face mode? Or your... This one? No face selected. Okay, so do I need to do that first? Never used this area before. Oh, right. Okay. That do that. Oh my. Oh my. Yeah. Yeah. That was quite an improvement. Oh wow. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Thanks. I mean, you can do this for a lot of years and still like, oh, have you done this before? No, never. I'll try it out. It's like, oh my. That's amazing. Okay. Like, select similar and... Are you referring to the bevel weight or the threshold? Slow down because I think the delay. Okay. And again, we're talking about the bevel now? Or the weighted or the... Okay. So if I do that, and I do this, well, oh, I need to probably do that first, right? It doesn't seem to... Bevel weights, yeah, it doesn't seem to work though, because I'm holding Alt right now. That would be great if it did, though. There has to be a way to do that, right? Considering everything else is so well thought out, why wouldn't it? Yeah, it was worth a shot. Because I know the alt thing had worked on other assets. Why is that larger? Why does that feel like it's larger? Exactly, yeah, absolutely. Had to test it. What's wrong with this one? Why is it complaining? What's your problem? Is it this? Okay, apparently that for some reason didn't have the same angle on the auto smooth. But yeah, close up, this is a lot better. Maybe the blacks are a bit too shiny. It feels more like some kind of plastic rather than... I'm trying to go for more rubber feel. I think this part up here has a rougher... There we go. Yep. That's better. Not perfect, but it's better. So what about the legs? Should they have a black matte color? Or should I make them metallic or maybe glossy black? I could make the barbells, or the dumbbells, to be honest. MHL, how you doing? I could make these like a very different color. What about we go with bluish? Is that too much? On the legs? You think glossy would do better on the legs? Green is kind of cool. Red's not working. How about this? And I need to select this part. Let's select these. Oh, is that mirrored? Oh, it's mirrored. Perfect. Let's do that. Well, we try the glossy one. The gradient's a bit too much, isn't it? But the glossy adds a bit more. Good. You enjoy color combination rather than flat colors, so you can't really help with much. Well, that's fair. This is also really limited texture-wise. Well, we could play around with like the faces. You can have one color on one face and so on. I kind of like the idea of keeping it one color like this. I don't know. Shading on them looks scuffed. Yeah, try changing weight normals. Oh, you think the shading is off? The dumbbells? How about we try it in solid mode? Just to watch. Because it could be metallic on these mid parts. Looks a bit weird. I'm not sure if it looks that weird in this mode. How about we go into another matte cap? This matte cap. And to show off a bit more shading. It could be the gradient on the texture itself that makes it look weird. There is a gradient to this. Let's see, where can I turn off alpha stuff? There's a way to do it, right? Dual image, alpha, none. There you go. It could be that this part down here, the texture, is way too bright in the grape area. Could try. Always entering the wrong. Why is that happening? No. Oh, God. That one. What if I do this? I mean, I feel like that's better, but I'm not sure. I would like to see the bevel come up and like show off a bit more. Then again, it is a distant thing. Our settings for one pair. We can do that. Let's do this. So let's move over to this one. And apparently we're seeing some weird stuff going on in this mode. But why is it not showing? Oh, because I changed something, didn't I? There we go. That's why. So if I try face and area angle, that looks weird. Do that. I'm not sure if that made much difference though. Well, we'll try face area. I mean, that's kind of cool effect, but it's not what we're looking for. How about threshold? What does that do? I think that's what we want. Keep sharp. No. I mean, it could be something else. Completely different. You think this is you're thinking this is better, or you're referring to like we're looking at something that looks weird? You feel this is better? Yeah, I can see that. Yes. Oh, right. There is something going on there. Love art. It's so relaxing. It is relaxing. I agree. Yeah, that all right. The fact that you caught that, that's kind of amazing. This one should also, if I do such a subtle thing though. Really subtle. I can barely see it now, but there is something near the bevel. This one's more clear that define like the just transition over to the flatter surface. More defined. All right, so what if we do this on all of these now? I assume I can do this. Hold down Alt and go to corner on all of them. Then that. I mean, that looks great though. So yeah. So a guy who does retro futuristic art in Blender, and it's really cool. Oh, yeah, that is cool. I love retro future. All right, awesome. Then again, I'm not sure about these though. Might be the gradients. Might honestly be the gradients. But I don't like the idea of having black on black on black stuff. But then again, most gyms today, at least the ones I used to go to, or still goes to, are all just like, oh, it has more black stuff. Oh, thank you. Also, I should do this. There we go. Black fits with many colors. Yeah, it does. It really does. Yeah, absolutely. The one thing I've tried to be careful of when I work with black colors is that it can be too much. And it is, how to put it the best way is that it's a very, there's no real oomph to black, but there's no real bad side about black. It's just good. If you get my point, I'm not saying it's a bad color. I love black. I personally wear black all the time. It's just that it doesn't pop. Nothing pops with black. It just is. Just what it is. It works. It just works. But I'm wondering if we can make this slightly different. Perhaps we should go with more metal. We'd like to have some colors, but I'm not sure where to put them. Where should I put the colors? That side wrap and that angle. We're gonna go for view. Black goes hard when it's pitch black. Like, what's the name of that super black paint they invented a few years back? Venta? Is that the one? Didn't they invent another one right now that's like a few decimal percent even more capable of like keeping the lights or reflection? It's a really absurd amount of non-reflectiveness. That I think this should be metal. It's boring, but it's metal, isn't it? You have no idea? Yeah. I mean, if I can find my Google search history is just kind of stupid right now. Blacker than Venta Black. Vanta Black. Is that the one? The MIT scientist is blacker than black, absorbing 99.995% of light compared to Vanta Black's So it's like 0.03 or 0.029% more capable of like absorbing light. I'm not even sure it can show up, but maybe this one. Let you show you this image. It's kind of weird. It looks like a glitch. You're just talking about contrast. Oh, fair point. Fair enough. This is kind of weird. 1 second. This is just way too much black, isn't it? Just swapping over to the correct scene. There you go. That is black. It looks like a graphical error, doesn't it? It's so weird. I wonder what they use it for. It does look wrong, doesn't it? Or is it Lenin? I don't know. Is it? If they mention it in the they don't really, but it might be Lenin. He's non-existent anymore. If it had been like a pink, then it will be like missing textures. Looks like him. Yeah, it kind of does. It really does. Wouldn't it be weird though that MIT used a face statue of Lenin to try out this? Wouldn't it be weird? I think it would, wouldn't it? Oh well. They do what they want to do, I guess. I think this though needs to be something like this. Modeling. Kind of works. It kind of does. I can add something like an accent color, perhaps on these. Not sure what that would look like though. I mean, if I do something subdiv, and I mean this is just a test. Or if I select this part and just move it out, I can't do that. Apparently not. What if I do this? No. Wait, which one is tear again? Remember. That one, right? Okay, something's... This is why. Cannot split selection when sync is enabled. Oh. So this, Y. There we go. So what if we just add... What about that? Let's see. You made a weird looking ball thing. Imagine like something with like bars made with an ice, I swear. I was not... Yeah, I have no idea what that means, MHL. Weird looking ball thing. Imagine looking like something with bars and stuff. Yeah. Might have to try a better explanation on that one. But I do kind of like the greens. I do like that. Question is, should I have it further up or further down? I don't like it in the middle. That doesn't really work for me. What if I have... Oh, I can't do that, apparently. Destroying the shading, but we can fix that in a minute. It just makes something pop a little bit, doesn't it? So, did that destroy the shading completely? Or are we fine? Legs looks mismatched to the shelves. Bevel too thick, looks like painted wood. Oh, does it? You might be right. All right. That's a good point. I can show you this. This is the... honestly, now look at it, that might makes no sense. So this is the bad... it's a really bad reference, by the way. It's a 3D printed thing. I just kind of liked what it looked like. No, sorry, that's not the one. Sorry, this is the one we're working on. This is the shelf we replicated. Well, yeah, kind of see your point. How to fix that, though? Perhaps removing the bevel completely? Like having the same sharp angles as the shelf themselves? So imagine an isosphere surrounded by a wireframe of another isosphere. Okay. Well, okay, I think that actually that makes kind of sense. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Just a small bevel. All right. I mean, it's worth a try. I just have to redo it because I at some point applied it. But that makes... we can do that. We're reworking this and either way, so that's fine. No, all right. Got a big weight. In the meantime, I'm kind of curious what it is that MHL is talking about. He made a isosphere. Then he made... it sounds like another one. Perhaps you applied what's called the... is this the skin modifier? It's not the skin modifier, is it? Which one is it? No, it's the... it's wire. Maybe something like that. Try making only the inner bevel. Okay, now you're in the way. Wait, sorry, the inner bevel? Which is the inner bevel? Are you referring to this part? You mean like trying to get closer to the shelves themselves? All right, all right. We can try that. Oh god, I need to... don't do that. I broke the second. Apparently, I can't do this properly. Right, so I need to connect these. Let's see. Michelle, I took one isosphere and beveled the edges. All right. Duplicate the new face and size them up, thicken them. Oh, okay. Oh, I think I see what I'm saying. All right. That's a cool style. Like it. Do I need to clean up? I do. Ooh. Nice. So let's select this entire thing. probably have used select sharp, but almost done. And you know what? Just so we keep procedurally, let's just do a bevel. Or honestly, what I could have done is by angle, probably 30. Maybe not. Why is this happening? Oh, right. Right. That makes sense, I guess. Let's do it at the top. There we go. Now we got something to work with. How do I use the... It's not allowing me to use. All right. Oh, it's also adding on that side, I think. All right. Use strategy. I'm going to select... Oh, I forgot. Not down, it's up. I went the other way. That's the way I want to go. All right. So that should be close to half the size. Make it closer. Hmm. Yeah, I can see this working a lot better. Perhaps this is wrong, though. Yeah, that needs to be gone. All right. I think I like this. And that green stripe, like just going around that, it kind of does a lot. I think I'll like, keep that. Probably should try this in Godot because it will be likely be very different. Well, something happened at least. Let's do that. This happened because it's using Blender's like some weird default stuff that we need to remake shader. I've done that once in my life, which is fun. That's not the one. We do have the textures at least. Scripts to do. Create new resource. Why is that not showing? That's kind of annoying. If I do that. Ah, God, what's the name of that resource? Shader something, right? It's a visual shader. Yeah, we're gonna do some shaders. Very, very simple. I do believe it's this one. Graph-like visual editor. Yes, that's the one we want. We call it. You know what? Just call it PBR. Poorly named, but let's go with that. And we need to, once we've done that, we need to create a material resource. Is it the shader material? Is it that one? I do believe it's this one. No, let's call it. What's a good name? Yes, gradient. Colors. Does what it needs to do. Then we're going to pick this one. I'm going to drag and drop the PBR in this. I believe we double click this part. Simplified shaders are fun too. Yeah. At least you can get some cool stuff going really fast. So we're going to do that. And we're going to override this probably right now. Probably before the best. And this way. I can't remember. Double click. No, not that. So I need to go to scenes. This is like my 5th time in Godot, so bear with me a bit here. It's not subscenes. It should be meshes. Dumbbell rack, right? Re-import. We need to go to materials. There's 2 materials. That's not what we want. What materials are we looking at? Material 2. All of these says material 2. Why is it saying more than one? Because of this guy? We delete that guy. Come on. No? Use external, enable, find materials, gradients. Why is it using a texture though? To dumbbell. Oh, 1. Do a save. So hopefully this is easier to tell what's what. Because what is that unnamed material? Okay, there we go. Now it's gone. Perfect. It's not showing up though. There we go. Back to materials. We're going to go for the gradient one, which shows nothing, which is what we want. Why is it not showing up? Well, I want that to be updated. Why is it not? Yeah, the delays, it makes it hard to give tips, doesn't it? But what about this one? Why is it not showing the correct material? Why is it the wrong material? I do that. No. Why is it doing that? Why is it doing that? Weird. All right, let's see what happens if we apply texture. Texture. Right. I'm guessing. I do that. I need these combined somehow. Can I combine them? Can I? Yes. All right. Welcome back from the ads. It hit me. The thing that might be happening is that we have a scene, a sub-scene for these things, I believe. Maybe we don't. No, it doesn't look like we have. I thought maybe that is why it doesn't change colors. Because there's a override somewhere. That doesn't look like the case. Why is it that you don't want to change? Why don't you want to change? Why? If I do that, you're hiding. If I do that, I'll be imported. Do that anyway. Change his mind been lost. All right. All I want to know where's the material is. Surface material override. All right, but why didn't that work from here? Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Not sure if this is the proper workflow, but at least I'm seeing a change, which is it's something, right? And that's all I want for now. Kind of the idea of doing this optimally will be for a later time. For now, I just want things to work. And there we go. Figure out why we're not getting the proper colors. Of course, I can tell we did everything correctly, but then again, apparently we didn't. All right. At least it's using these colors, right? Which is something. What about the... I don't know what's happening. I mean, obviously it's something, but I'm not sure what. We do this. Is there something called a const? Call the const. Ah, that doesn't seem like it's working. I want to save that. All right. So let's not do that. Might have to do some research offline. This makes no sense. It's not that one. Why is this particular one, which is the, as far as I can tell, the imported file? Why is that not? Why is this reset? I don't my life understand what's going on. This one's still showing white, despite the fact that this one is. There is something I'm missing, like I'm not applying this something. If I do save. Yeah, that did nothing. Do I need to do something with the UV mapping? No, it doesn't make sense. Otherwise, why would it show up? All right. Finish your weird sphere. All right, nice. I mean, all these look fine. Can I do a mask or something? An extract. I'm not sure. Turned it into a grenade. That's fun. Assuming there's something with the vector going on. Okay, well, that's interesting. What's this? HSV to RGB. That's not the one. No. Sepia. All right. Is that something? I don't know. Oh, by the way, metallic. It should be fully metallic. There we go. Still doesn't do anything to this part, so I'm not sure what's going on. Fragment, add node. Yeah, done that. If I do that, I still get that. So what I don't understand is this part. Not updating for some reason. Perhaps, though. What if we do this? We do that. Then let's relaunch Godot. How about that? All right. That's something. Still not correct. But now we have something. All right. Then perhaps. What if I then go back here, dumbbell? This seems to be continuously disconnected. I don't understand why. Why is this still white? Could be that I picked the wrong resource. That's a possibility. Maybe not. These looks the same. Could be potentially that I need to check out the file. We're looking at something with the source control rather than Godot or Blender. Also, why is this 012? And it's still not looking correctly inside here. What if that is the case? That we're actually looking at something to do with perforce. Would like to get this to work before we end for today. See if we can do that. The meshes. And let's turn on Godot again. So now that we have that file checked out, what if I do it to this then? Mesh skin animation material keep eternal. Now extract override. What that? What if this is the case? What if I've done this completely wrong? That makes no sense. All right. That's wrong. Wait, what? Did I get new material? Okay, how about we use this instead? Okay, so I've done something wrong with the setup. This works. If I do that, pick this one, but we're also going to pick the alpha. All right. All right. We're getting somewhere. And then I'm going to use a texture for the metallic. This red works. It's very dark. Perhaps too dark, but all right, we got there. I think you lost your texture in Blender, and it was inherited to here. That might definitely be a case, yeah. It also might be how I set up this material right here, because when I extracted the material from Blender, I got a very simplified version, which seems to be like a pre-made thing in Godot. But this one is more like me trying to create a comp. I'm overcomplicating things rather than using a base material. So I need to look into why this is not working. But also, like you're saying, it's probably some inherent thing. Yeah, makes sense. Well, cool. We got there eventually. Awesome. And I do like what we're doing with this. This looks pretty good. I would love to tone down, I think, black colors. Might be a bit too much. Can I close this? Sure. We could try this. Let's do this. I'm going to hide this little thing. I'm going to add. I drag and drop this. And right? Yes. I do believe. Turn this on again. This little guy is way smaller. How about something like that? Hide this guy again. Go back to main. So this is the prototype area. So if I do this, we're going to get a small window. I want to just change colors management preset back in Blender to match one in Godot. I probably should. Right now, I'm not too concerned about the perfect workflow, but that is definitely something I should do. Definitely. Right now, I'm more concerned of just getting these shapes correctly. And I'm just going to add a B and a C and finally A, and there we got it. So as you can see, really small. So we have a lot of ways to go, though. We're going to have to make a few changes to camera distance, camera angles, field of view. And in this case, I probably should scale that little one up even further. Can I do that, by the way? Can I do this? And it's... Oh, that looks weird, but all right. That works. But those are good ideas, by the way. Looking at inheritance and also manage preset back in the Blender. Yeah, I should probably do that. Now it's completely just black. Yeah. Good things to look at. He's hiding in it. All right. Progress has been made. And with that, we're closing in on 10 o'clock, which is usually when I end things. And I think that will be the case today too. Although a few minutes earlier, but I am kind of tired. It's been a long week. So everyone, thank you for tuning in. And Lee, thank you for all your tips and helpfulness. You helped me a lot there. Also, your idea with changing the weight blend stuff was really amazing. MHL, good luck again with your grenade. Look forward to seeing what you do with that one. I guess that is it. How about we see if there's someone online? Oh, yeah. Next time will be next Friday, and hopefully soon, or probably at the beginning of next year, I will extend the number of streams I do each week. Kind of depends on what's happening with the YouTube side. But that would be nice if we could do that. Let's see. Do we have anyone online we could raid? We do have Mr. Nautic Games, which is hovering head, but he usually doesn't have problems with view count. But we could send everyone his way. He's a cool guy. Let's see, I'm just going to pause the music for a while and let's just see what he has to say. You know what? Let's give it a shot. All right, I'm going to send you over to Hypnotic Games. And everyone, thank you again for showing up. I'll see you all in a week. So have a good evening, everyone, and goodbye.